It was about taking this celebrity and crafting this world around her for Smile to invade.
Hi, Parker. Actually, we got to talk when you did the first movie, and you were hoping to be able to do a second one, and now we're here, so I think that's amazing. So I was going to ask, since last time you seemed a bit surprised about the giant success of the first film, so what are your expectations for the second one?
Well, nice to see you again. I really, I made a film that I love, that I really believe in, that I poured my blood, sweat, and tears into, and I'm going into the release with no expectations. I couldn't be more proud of the film that we made, and I hope that audiences connect with it again.
Yeah, I really love the approach of combining like the dark and gloomy horror movie atmosphere with a loud and colorful world of a celebrity. I think it's a really cool idea. And we even get to enjoy some singing and dancing. Maybe you could tell me a little bit about how that idea came to life.
When I really wanted to dive in and figure out how I was going to approach a sequel, it was all about finding, a character that I could invest back into and fall in love with, and explore certain things thematically and emotionally, and then also creating a world and an experience that, while there is a through line from the first film, also feels quite unique and like its own has its own DNA a bit, and so the approach of bringing that to life was really exciting. It was about taking this celebrity and crafting this world around her for Smile to invade.
Yeah. The movie got an R rating, which seemed to be a surprise to some people, which was a surprise to me because, obviously it's rated R. I assume you weren't surprised about that at all, right?
No, certainly not. The first film was R rated, and so was, the second. For me, I'm not sure there could be a Smile film that's not rated R. We really like to go as off the rails and as bonkers as possible. I love a lot of blood. I love getting nasty. But also I think emotionally, like what the characters are going through, absolutely. I didn't want to hold anything back. I didn't want to pull any punches. I wanted it to be as intense and anxiety inducing as possible.
Yeah, I feel like you didn't hold back. I watched the movie on Friday morning, and it was quite an intense way to start the day. Like a lot of fun, and yeah. So it was said that part of the movie's first movie success was this huge TikTok hype around it. But a lot of people complained about content creators like misbehaving at the cinema and ruining other people's experience. So I guess it's like a two-edged sword in a way. How do you feel about that also regarding Smile 2?
I just hope for audiences to embrace the film. I think any amount of excitement around the movie going experience is a really great thing that we could always use more of. I want more people going to the cinemas to see all films. I tend to feel that, as an audience member, everybody sort of gets to go, see a movie however they want. But all I can do is create the film and put it out there.
I was wondering, do you think that the first movie and also the second one would work as well with a male protagonist?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, it's coincidental that both protagonists happen to be female. I think that when I approached the idea of the pop star for the second one, it felt quite organic for Skye to be a woman. But I think that absolutely Smile would work fantastic with a male protagonist.
But would you agree that women they work better in a way because they are more vulnerable anyways? They have to look over their shoulder anyways. They can't enjoy like walking around in the dark anyways and stuff like that?
Certainly, I wouldn't want to speak for women by any means, but you know, I think that there is I think there are certain things that men and women and you know experience the world differently. I think that is obvious. I think even being told to smile is something that is quite different being said to a man or a woman. But I think that both Rose, who's played by Sosie Bacon in the first film, and Skye with Naomi Scott in the new film, really it's about their performances. I think that really I was so drawn to that makes it quite effective.
Yeah, and they're really both great in those roles. Yeah, they are both great picks. Yeah. Without giving anything away, of course. Do you think there's a possibility that people will be disappointed with the ending because they hope for a different outcome? I mean, it's difficult to answer without spoilering, but maybe you get what I mean.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, then let's try it differently. I think, without giving away anything, that there is room, it leaves room for another sequel. So is there any plans for a third part already?
I mean, right now we're just gearing up to release Smile 2. And, you know, I think that what is so fun about Smile is that it opens up the possibility for all different kinds of stories and places to potentially take it. And again, it would be about, you know, finding things that are really worthwhile to explore and that can feel different. I love the idea that, you know, every time, you know, we come back to the world of Smile, things get more off the rails, more insane, more bonkers, bloodier, nastier, and just more unexpected. That to me feels really exciting. But right now, I just hope that Smile 2 connects with audiences.
Yeah. When we talked about the first part, you told me that you actually like sneaked into the cinema and got to experience the audience reaction to the film. Do you plan to do that again? Because I think it's really cool to hide in the back end.
Absolutely. You know, I live in Los Angeles, and I definitely plan to go sneak into a few theaters opening weekend. And
what was in your perspective the most difficult scene to shoot? Is there any particular one that sticks out?
Quite a few. There's quite a few very difficult scenes in this film. You know, ones that come to mind at the top of my head, certainly the opening scene was very intense and required a lot of planning. We have an unbroken 7.5 minute long shot that has so much going on inside of it that was really quite a challenge to put together. And another one that comes to mind immediately is the big dress rehearsal performance of Blood on White Satin. Was such a logistical and technical puzzle to put together to create, essentially to put on a like live pop show experience in the middle of making a film was an enormous task.
Yeah. Since the first movie was so successful, I would assume that the second one had a higher budget. So did you feel like you had more freedom to do stuff that you didn't get to do the first time around?
Definitely. You know, we were so lucky as to get to make a sort of like bigger, bolder film the second time around. But I didn't want it to be bigger just for bigger's sake. I wanted it to feel quite organic to the character and the world and the stakes. And there are certain things that we never could have pulled off in the first film. And so it was really, really exciting to get to do it this time around.
I think it's not a spoiler because you can see it everywhere on the web that Drew Barrymore's actually in the second movie. That's really exciting. How did you convince her? Did she even approach you and say, I want to be part of this?
You know, it was really exciting I wanted to, in order to really build credibility into this pop star character, I wanted to blur the lines between fiction and reality a little bit. And so I wrote that scene for Drew, and then I sent it to her along with a note, and she was so gracious and wonderful as to say yes, and she was a delight to work with.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sky Riley. Du bist gerade mitten auf einer großen Welttournee.
Alles okay? Ich sehe überall dieses Gesicht.